This is amazing. I never expected to fly business class. Thank you for this incredible upgrade.
Good evening, guys. Welcome back to another stream on the Aviator 268 channel, where we are going to be heading down to Florida, Southwest Florida Airport, RSW, in our Pmdg 737-900 and we are sitting at gate Alpha 9, where we are going to move our aircraft and head on south. There is air traffic control, so we should be able to hear some chatter as we go down. So we have Atlanta Center on, I believe, so we'll be able to hear that available. So we're going to step right into the aircraft. Aircraft should be aligned by now, or hopefully it's aligned by now. Just want to say a word of welcome to all those who have joined just now. We are appreciated that you are here on the channel and hope that you enjoy it. So if you're new, feel free to like and subscribe, and of course hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next time that we go live. So without any further ado, aircraft is supposed to depart at 56 after the hour, so we want to jump right into the aircraft and get ourselves squared away. So let's go into the FMC, and everything is out of date. That's not cool. Stand by 1 second, guys. And we are back, so everything should be good now. We are now up to date, so we will go AATL, and let's see, we have some brief information up here, and we're at Alpha 6. Sometimes it's Alpha 9. This does not always work. Oh, there it is. Good, so we can enter that, and we're good to go. Route, let's go into requested from SimBrief, and we shall look at our flight plan. Departure and arrival information here is good, and then we can request our route. That. And in the other FMC, we're gonna get our fuel truck in, and our fuel for today's flight is 16871. Let's just run that up. We will get that. What's going on, Aaron? Welcome, 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 brother. There we have the truck coming up, and it will fuel the aircraft as we, I think I'm going to begin boarding just so we can try to leave on time. It's already 6:40. So we want to try and get out of here on time. Departing today off of runway 9 left, and it's supposed to be a short one, so the luck transition, and let's head down into the arrival. Runway 6, use a tiny, and I believe the transition for that is this. It is the player. So then we can check that side. Let's check our arrival and departure airports. So the tiny 4, and we're using Alice runway 6. So our transition point is actually Obels. Before that, let's check what star is checking. Clear all the way down. Over. So on our star, we have tiny pasta over. So from over is where we're going to go. So we'll do that, and we check our route. Alright, so our systems have come up. So the aircraft is fueling, as we see here, 11,000 pounds. We look for 16,875. So that's doing what it's doing. Let's check our route. Go to plan mode. And let's go to the next page and step through. Departing from the 9 left, so we go to grits, Heisman, bang, luck, all the way down on it. We have player, so we're in tiny, And once we get to San, then we go to Bell, Obel, and then join the arrival. So that's good. So we know that's correct. So we can activate that. So execute. And we can now turn on flight directors. And that is set. Cool. Let's look at the weather. Real quick. We get information from ATC. Current weather in Atlanta. That sound is our flight plan from the air traffic controller. So the weather is 120 at 5 and 10 statute miles. Few clouds at 4,800. I don't think they should be in this one, Aaron. I don't think so, but we'll see what happens just now. We have a thundercloud or towering cumulonimbus at 4,800, and we have few at 9,000, broken at 25,000. Temperature 31, altimeter is 3012. So let's set our altimeter 3012. And with 3012, our altitude should be 1020, which is just above. So that's set there and set twice, so we're good to go. All right, fuel is just about done. Once that is finished, we'll start our boarding. And this is our route out of Atlanta. So we go southbound, then southeastbound until we get to southwest Florida, which is W. All right. So let's look at our departure real quick. I'm kind of speeding through here, guys. So if it sounds like gibberish to you, it's because I'm really rushing through the flight planning stage because of the challenges that we just had. So I'll kind of slow it down just a little bit once we start boarding. All right, so our airport departure. Parking. Well, pin page now. Airport in Atlanta. So we are at the Alpha Gates. So we're going to be taking off of runway 9 left. 9 left, more than likely from Mike 2, and we have the Atlanta Tower as well. So the latest that's available for the uniform, and that gives us the same information here as the weather here. So wind 120 at 5, 10 statute, and 31 3012, and departing off of the left, expecting the section departure at night 2, which is from our latest. So when we are going to depart today, short taxi to south, and more than likely Lima to night 2. So we take off here. That's about 1,000 foot of runway taken off of the departure runway. But we set out plenty of runway. It is 12,390 feet. So 1,000 off of that, 11,000 we should still be. Usually they will tell you how much to take off. So, alright, so we're departing off of runway left, and we have squawk 101. Okay, 1110. Nope. Squawk 0. What this is for those who are new is that this is the way that the traffic controller is going to be able to track us. So we have to put that there so that they can see us as we're flying through the sky. Right, so we are 119.1, and then we will have the center departure, which is 132. Good. There we go. Let's do a radio check. Hotline top, pleasant good evening. Delta 1736 radio check.
5x5.
Thank you. Good. So we have 5x5, so we're good to go. Fuel is on board. You can release that and go upstairs. And we can now turn on the recirculation fans. And it's called for boarding. Just 1 second. I have to get my big ones. So let's begin boarding.
Boarding requested.
While we're doing that, we'll just run through the pre-departure clearance or the pre-departure briefing. So today we are flying from Delta Flight 1736 down to Southwest Florida, where the destination is. The weather in our destination is pretty nice, 090 at 13, so winds are from the east, 10 statute miles, so pretty good weather down there.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
The aircraft today is the Boeing 737-900, and we have no issues, no information that is pertinent to this flight that would make us viable, so we're good to go. We're expecting to taxi to runway 9 left, and more than likely we would use the 2 south, Lima 1 to Mike 2. And our standard shuttle departure today is going to be the 9-3. And there aren't any threats right now. We have good weather, the airspace is not congested, and there aren't any no temps other than the departure off of Mike 2's instead of departure. In the event that we have an engine failure before V1, we will call abort, and we will stop the aircraft. If we pass V1, we will continue to 3,000 feet and handle the situation airborne. And if there's anything else that we would need, if there's anything else we need to, we will talk to the traffic control and we're doing. So that's the pre-departure briefing. So now we have our aircraft being boarded. Passengers are just about to get on board. Let's see if we have anything passengers asked for.
Welcome on board.
It'd be real funny if we do. No, 737s are fine.
Hello.
Okay. So I don't know what's going on. Usually they'll be coming in and walking to their seats. I have no idea what's going on with this aircraft. We're not going to focus on that any at all, so we're just going to get back into our flight then, which is what we are going to be doing. This is where we've spent our focus on. So we're good to go with that. All right, so for the rest of the setup, let's go back to route, perf page. Let us request our information. So we have 174 souls on board, and we have our cargo as stated here, and we're just waiting for that information to pop up, auto-populate. Aircrafts these days, you don't necessarily have to input certain things because it comes from company, so we'll just simply make one change here because we're going to fly level 330. Reserve is 6.7, and our zero fuel weight is 143.3 as stated there. Transition altitude here is 18,000 feet. Cruise wind average is 061 at 17, so pretty nice winds. Shouldn't have any issues, so to speak. All right, so our gross weight is 160.2. While we're here, go to the legs page and we will request the winds. and this will pretty much let us know if we are going to land with safe amount of wind, safe amount of fuel. 9.5 is what we're seeing right now. Let's see what happens when we input the wind. All right, load, execute. We have that set up. We land with 9.5, and that is more than enough. It is well above our reserves, which is 6.7. So we are comfortable with this right here. Okay, so our setup is pretty much complete where that is concerned. We will do the performance now. We're departing off of runway 9 left, and this is going to be shortened so by 1,000 feet. So it's 11,388. Let's put that in there, 11,388. Import the weather, leave it as optimum, and let's calculate. So our flaps 5 departure, take off with a select temperature of 50. V1 is 150, VR is 152, and V2 is 156. So 50, 52, 56, we go over to our N1 limit, take off with a 50 degrees selected temperature, take off flaps 5, and the CG is 28.3, 28.3, 150, 152, 156, that's set, and that's set. We'll leave it on that page since we're departing the pilot sign, so we'll do that. All right, turn on the seatbelt sign and let's get the APU running. Let's turn that on. Get the second APU, the hydraulic pump running so we can set our trim 4.4, 4.5, there, good. That is set. All right, so let's do our departure briefing now. So we will depart off of runway 09 left, and we're using the Bang 3 departure. That departure is going to take us on a runway heading till 1527. Then we make a right to Grits down to Heisman at 250, then to Bang, and then to our transition lock. Our V speeds, V1 is 152, VR is 150, 152, and V2 is 156. Our initial climb speed is 250. Continuous altitude is 180. Current weather includes, as we stated earlier, our winds are 120 at 5, 10 statute miles. We have information uniform on board, and the winds are 120 at 5. Visibility is 10, and that is beautiful weather for flying this evening. In case of any engine failure or abnormality as we are departing today, out of V1, we will maintain runway heading and follow the runway heading to 3,000 feet. Then we will assess the situation and we will make contact with the tower and let them know what we plan to do. For departures today, we have the center on board. So once we depart after lift off, we'll go from 119.1 to 132.97, and the center will take care of us as we go on. If there aren't any questions, then we are good to go. Aircraft is just about finished loading in terms of the Adam Boldy. Thank you so much for the sub. Welcome on board, my brother. It is good to have you with us today. All right, so let's do our checklist, our before start checklist. So flight deck and exterior instructions are complete. Pre-flight procedure is complete. RS modes are nav and display switches are normal, and auto emergency light switches are on. Passenger signs are on. Window heat switches are also on. Mode control panel is set. We have 156 275 and 10,000 in the Windows. Oxygen mass, radio interphone check, altimeter is 3012 check and cross check. Flight and navigation instruments are checked. Warning and announcement panel is checked. Hello, sir, you were streaming on. Yes, sir. Welcome, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to have you, brother. Landing gear is down 3 greens, and speed brake lever is down detent. Thrust levels are closed, and engine start levers are cut off. Stabilization cutout is normal, and fire warning system has been checked. Radio, transponder, and radar is checked and set. Our radios are set to tower and the center, and 1110 is our squawk code. Rudder and aileron free and zero. Parking brake is set. Flight and briefing is complete. Departure briefing is complete. Logbook is checked, and fuel on board is 16.9, and that is on board.
Stand by just 1 second, guys. 514 miles to the south, entering a right base rate left with SL.
Number 9851 Atlanta Tower. Runway 8 left, clear to land.
Mark little and 8 left for 9851.
My apologies, guys. That was the doorbell. Somebody needed something. All right. What's going on, JP? Good to see you. Good to see you. Day's going pretty good so far. And I'm pretty appreciated that you are here, my brother. I hope that you enjoyed the stream with us this evening. All right, so we still have a few more passengers to come on board, and once they do, then we will definitely be on our way. We don't need to contact the tower simply because we have the pre-departure clearance. So we're simply going to push back onto the ramp and then taxi out to south, and then contact the tower from there. We have 130 passengers of 174, so we are getting close to our pushback. But let's just review what our taxi is going to be. So let's get our pin and let's go to our. So once we push back, we're going to push back facing south. And then we'll hold at 2 south, then call up the tower, and then we'll head on to the runway. Thank you so much, JP. I hope you have a good day as well. Let's get the
Special Aircraft Weather Fluctuators, this is Victor Knocker, the altimeter 3011.
Alright, so we have a new ATIS up, and the new ATIS is now Victor, and the altimeter is 3011. So we just simply make that change right here, 3011. We are late. pushback was supposed to be at 56. It is now 2 minutes after 7. Hopefully we can get this 900 to get us up and out of here. If my good friend was online right now, he would probably be cursing me because he loves the 900. I prefer the 800. I prefer the smaller jet. I really do. I really prefer those over the longer ones. So this aircraft is a little bit longer than the 800. And so, oh, definitely. Won't forget the passport off. But we're not going international, so I can fly without. Yeah. But yeah, this aircraft is a little bit longer than the 800. So one of the things that you can tell if it's an 800 or a 900. So the 800-900 has these two overwing exits, but the difference between the 8 and the 9, once upon a time it was these scimitars, but they're on the 800 as well. But there's this door right here. This door is what makes the difference between the 800 and the 900. So if you're looking and wondering if you're flying a 800 or a 900, that door that's at the back, just before the main exit, door 2 at the back here on the right side, is also on the left side as well. This other exit right here.
We're going to be parking at signature.
Roger.
So that's how you know the difference between an 800 and a 900. All right. See how many passengers we have left. We have just a few more. We can remove from here. Let's go to our first actions. Ground. We can release the ground power. Let's double check. Yes, we are on APU. And we can also release the low pressure air. I forget that I can do that from this position. Good. I believe this, although JSX is going to change his back anyway, so it's good.
Nine 1448 line tower. Runway 8 left, clear to land.
Boarding is complete. Boarding is complete. So we can double check to make sure everything is together. So we have all of that. That is good. Let's go ahead and let GSX know we're ready to push. So let's prepare for push. Remove the chocks. Doors closed.
Locking gear.
Quick.
Nine 851, welcome to Atlanta, Rampy Alpha.
Rampy Alpha 951, talk to you in a bit.
Go ahead.
Facing south.
Release parking brakes, please.
All right, so before we do that pushback, doors are closed, hydraulic panel is set, fuel panel is set, but the door is closed and locked, anti-collision lights on, air condition panel is set, transponder is set to standby. Matter of fact, we turn that on. And the report before start checklist is complete, so let's release the brake, start the timer.
Commencing push. All engines clear, start at will.
Roger, we'll start at will. And we're off. We'll start engine number 2, then 1. Start engine number 2. 25% and 1 and 2 and start. Tonight we're flying to Southwest Florida Airport, JP. Start switch is cut out. Start engine number 1.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake is set.
Unlocking gear.
Flight is approximately approximately an hour and change. Hour and a half thereabout. 25. He just walked right through without bending his head. That's 2 good starts. Everything is normal, nothing in the red, so we're good to go. I need to double check one more thing. This. So that T is off on the right hand side, so we're good to go. Didn't see the wave, but that's all right. Flight controls check. Left, right, back, forward, rudder left, and right. For those who want to see on the outside, rudder left, rudder right.
1440 cross runway 8 right at Delta, Foxtrot to the ramp.
So let's go flat 5 and watch those go down. Flat 5 is set. Do the after start close, then we run the after start checklist. After start checklist: generators are on, probe heat on, NTI is not required, air condition panel is set, brakes is RTO. After start checklist complete.
There, but if you can't find it just across,
then we have our taxi checklist. Flat 5 set, green light, flight controls have been checked. Taxi checklist is complete. All right, so lights on, and let's get on out of here. Parking brakes is released, and let's have a move on. Sounds so real, it's not even funny. Anyone who's been on the wing when traveling, yeah, it sounds just like all right, so we're gonna call up the tower now and ask him for permission to taxi, but we're gonna just hold short of Mike 2 as we, not Mike 2, hold short of 2 south as we indicated earlier in our briefing. So we're gonna hold short right here, let him know where we are. Let him know that we have information from Victor on board, and intentions is to taxi. So we don't have to stop. Let's do that now. Hotline and Tower, good evening once again. Delta 1736 for information from Victor 3011. Walking 1110, requesting taxi 2 south.
Delta 1736 Atlanta Tower, runway 9 or left at Mike 2, taxi via Lima 1.
Just as we said, Roger, Mike 2, 9 or left, Lima 1, Delta 1736. So just as we briefed, that's exactly what he gave us. So we will make a right onto Lima, and then a left at Lima 1, and the whole short of Mike 2, which is a right.
And sorry, if you had your
So since we are
at Siggy,
Katl-Krsw, clear left,
departure to the
and
south
clear
end
right.
back to Thomasville. Going to be at
So we
15,500.
didn't need to stop. We just kept the ball rolling.
Drive 1041, runway 9 or left, taxi via Romeo, hold short of 9 or right at the approach end.
Airport is not busy at all today.
Alright, 51, would you like flight following? Can I just get the
Actually talking to
arrival
yes, sir. This thing is
Yeah,
like
sure.
real
It's
world.
flight following and Tango Victor India.
As real as you can get is what we do, man. So we're
Under
passing Tango,
9851, cleared out of the Atlanta class Bravo airspace.
and then our next
Maintain
left, which is
VFR
right here,
at
is where we're gonna.
500, departure frequencies Atlanta Center 132.907, squawk 5365.
Alright, we'll keep the squawk code 5365, cleared out of the class Bravo edible at 3.5, 3297 for departure for 951.
551, read back for us, call back.
Alright, so before takeoff, check the tip trim is 4.45, flat 55, green light, windows are closed and locked, auto throttle is on, recall is checked. Runway departure first fix, it is clear takeoff, runway 9 left to Mike 2, Delta 1736.
1736,
Runway,
verify on after grid.
apologize, didn't hear that part. RNAV grids, 9 left, clear takeoff, Mike 2. Alright, runway fix is runway 09, left at Mike 2, departure first fix is grits. Takeoff briefing is complete, flight sensors have been notified, radar and transponder is set, engine start switches are continuous.
Approaching
Exterior lights
9 left.
are coming on. And let's go. Lining up runway
Crossing
2.
9 left. On runway 9 left.
And here we go. Start the timer. Add master throttles to 50%. Stable. Toga. Apply a little pressure on the yoke just so we can keep the nose wheel on the ground. Try to keep it stable. Check. Release pressure. Try to keep the center line. V1, rotate. Then pull back. And we are airborne. Try not to scrape the tail because it's such a big airplane. Positive rate. You're up. And we are off.
Southwest 2222, Atlanta down.
Passing 50.
Say again. Southwest 2622, Atlanta down, go ahead.
Can we lower our cruise altitude from 380 to 360? We're not going to be able to make it up there.
Roger, you take 36010 minutes after departure.
Roger, 36010 minutes after Southwest 2622, thank you.
1736 passing 2,300.
Delta 1736, contact departure, see ya.
Thank you so much for this. You have a good night. See you. Bye bye.
Drive 1041 heavy, crossing right down right at the approach end, continue taxi via Papa.
Alright, go over to the center approach, center departure, frequency now. Still trying to hand fly the aircraft, so that's why I'm doing all this movement. I just literally put it on the autopilot. I'm just trying to hand fly the aircraft. Land our center Pleasant Green does 1736 passing 4,000 for 10,000.
Better 1736, want to send a better contact, line maintain, audible 330.
Fiber 330 Delta 1736, Roger. Alright, flaps coming up, flaps 1. Alright, let's have the autopilot in now. Autopilot number 3. Up.
Mary
330.
326, better contact clearing. Army, climb maintain, potable 230.
And there is Atlanta in the distance. Dave is asking how many flights have I flown. It depends on which airline you're talking. So for Delta, I think I have like just under 2,000 flights. In terms of hours, I have over 16,000 hours on the online network, and that is just when I started flying on the network. So I started that, I don't know, I think it was probably around the year 2004, 2005 there, 2005 thereabout. So since 2005 to now, I've amassed 16,000 plus hours.
American 326, delete the restriction.
But there are several thousand flights. I can't even tell you how many flights. The recorded ones are 17,000, 18,000 thereabout. But they're a lot more than that, but they aren't recorded.
Reliable 1546, we got the visual runway for about our 3 o'clock.
Level 1547, clear visual approach runway 15, runway 15 runway.
Clear visual 1515, clear to land. We're reliable 1546.
American 5524, maintain 12000.
One second, let me fix this.
John 1041, Atlanta 10, better contact, I maintain potable 320.
The overlay was not working properly, so I'm trying to fix the overlay real quick. There we go. So you can see altitude and ground speed. Cool. How many of those hours are for, how many of those are Delta V? Okay, so let me actually check what it is for Delta.
Visual approach, right. Delta 3150, are you descending V0? Yes, sir. About to start now.
Trying to look that up real quick. Give me just a second.
Alaska 474, 40 from the side. Alaska 474, we got the building. Alaska 474, flying 070, good visual approach running that route.
My iPad doesn't want me to be great right now, so right, so I have 1,934 flights with Delta Virtual. So that is 6,217 hours. So here you would see I 1934 flights with 6,217 hours, and I've flown over 2 million nautical miles with the view so far. So 1,830 of those were logged online with 5,965 hours stored on the back end. So yeah, quite a bit. Quite a bit.
1212,031.
We passed 10,000 feet. Landing lights should come off, and we can do the have to take off those.
Back with you 3,500.
Gear up and off.
Runway 51 at 1 at center.
Flaps up, no lights. Anti-ice not required. Engine bleeding packs are on and auto. Pressurizing the panel is checked. Engine start swinging are off, are auto, and the APU is not required. Wow, I only joined last week. It's crazy to see people with so much time invested in it. Oh yeah, and as a matter of fact, Adam, this is my 20th year with Delta Virtual. So July next month will make 20 years that I've been flying with Delta Virtual. It's a very good community. It's a nice set of people, and it's always good to see people who have been with it, like you said, invested in the whole thing. Just the other day, in the A cars, I saw somebody in there that has been there forever. And once we see each other, we say hey to everybody. Feels good to know that somebody still with the virtual airline, because many virtual airlines start and stop, and with the advent of all of these recording applications. So Eliva Text is the latest one. You have Volanta, you have 18,000 feet, and we have Standard Check. So we have all these other recording systems where you can track your flights. So virtual airlines are slowly becoming obsolete, but then you have those like Delta Virtual, who has been going strong since 2003, 2002 or 3 thereabout, and then even up to 2025, you're still seeing them doing so well. So it's really good. It's really good to see people invested in that for real. Yeah, there are several others as well, but you don't hear much about them. You don't see them doing as much. One of the things that I like too about Delta Virtual is the idea of having these events. Events are great. What's the max altitude you have to? The max altitude for that we're going right now is flight level 330 or 33,000 feet. This aircraft can go up to, I think it might be 41,500 if I'm not mistaken, but that's dependent on the aircraft weight. So we are not pretty heavy, but our altitude for this flight is flight level 330.
Level 1547,
or 33,000 feet.
November 371 Papa Whiskey, Recall and Academy, 7,000, second approach runway 7.
Looking at the map, so we have taken off and we're now flying southbound.
Heading 200 instead of maintain 37.
So the flight time is approximately 1 hour and 29 minutes gate to gate. As a matter of fact, no, it's 1 hour and 18 minutes flight time, 1:48 gate to gate. So we'll see how best we can get there a little bit quicker. But as you climb up to flight level 330, hope that you sit back and enjoy the flight. Whatever view that was. Yep. Flying on the wing, one of the best places you can fly is, I don't know how people do it. I can't say I don't know how people do it. That's actually an unfair statement. I don't have a problem flying in the middle seat. So for example, I could sit here, which is the middle seat, the aisle seat rather, I've sat in the middle seat before, but my preferred seating is gonna always be the window. I gotta be able to see outside, man. Gotta know what's going on. I'm paying attention to what's happening to the flaps. As they're coming down, I'm seeing what's going on to the slats in front here. When we land, you will see this cowling move. You know, these kind of things I want to see. I can't sit, if I have a choice, I'm sitting in the window. Not sitting in the aisle, not sitting, for sure, as tall as I am. I'm 6'4" or 6'3", some one of them. And imagine trying to sit, if I'm not in business class, where I'm sitting on the aisle, you know, sitting in the middle seat is just crazy. Yo, what's going on, Matthew? Welcome to the stream, brother. It's crazy to sit in the middle seat. Unless it's absolutely that I have no other choice, I will not be sitting in the middle. It gotta be a window seat. The next option would be an aisle seat, because I can't do it. I'm too tall for that.
United 796 cross Aussie at a
Way too tall.
4000, we went altimeter 3011.
So for the guys who are on here that follow Flight Simulator and all things Flight Sim, this coming weekend is going to be Flight Sim Expo up in Providence, Rhode Island. It's unfortunate I still gotta work. If my job would only allow me to leave for the weekend, I would have been at Flight Sim 2025, Flight Sim Expo 2025. I wish they would put it in July. That way I can get an opportunity to do that. Would you pay to get a window seat? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If that is not, so for example, like I'm traveling in 2 weeks, and if a window seat was not available, a free window seat is not available, I would definitely pay for a window seat. I won't feel comfortable just sitting in the middle. I gotta sit. Excuse me. Have you ever realized if you sit at the window, for example, I take a lot of pictures. I love seeing. It's like my what would you call it? It's my happy place. It's my zen. Imagine that is something that you like to do, and you're sitting in the aisle seat, because that's the last seat that's available on the plane, hypothetically speaking. And you look out, or trying to look out the window, and the person sitting at the window closes the window shade. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna give them such a side eye. I'm like, you cannot be serious. You can't be serious. There's nothing else to see inside. I don't want anybody looking at me in my face, no. I don't have anything against anybody. I don't. But I'm gonna be looking outside. So if it's a situation where there isn't a free seat when I'm booking a flight and you have to pay for seats, yes, I will pay for a window seat, because I need to see. I need to be able to look outside.
American 5524, fourth airport inside,
Definitely be looking outside.
American 5524, good visual approach, runway 9 right, contact tower 191. Clear visual 9 right, over to 119.1.
The 737-900 seems to climb pretty slowly, so our climb thrust is 99.4, and we're only climbing at a vertical speed of 1,050 feet per minute. That is slow. Slow. Absolutely slow.
742 Whiskey, runway 1 left, activate though.
16 minutes and we're not even at cruise. Oh yeah, when people close the window, I'm like, bro, what? Yeah, why? I don't know. I guess, and I suppose those persons who, so there are two schools of thoughts with that, right? So on the one hand, people who sit at the window seat generally don't need to move. So we're sitting at the window seat, not gonna get, depending on the length of the flight. So for a flight this long, for example, it's an hour and 18 minutes. I would have used the bathroom before I got on the plane. So I'm gonna sit down. I may have something to drink, yes.
1736, connect Jack Center 1351 there.
Well, we have ATC all the way down. Jack Center on center frequency again.
Jet 228 is set to maintain funnel 240.
So we got Jackson Center on
That is 1736, Connect Jack Center 135.902.
135.902. Thanks for the ATC sale. 135.925. So let's push that.
That is 3150, turn right and 07009 right left line.
902. We got agency all the way down because Miami Center is aligned too. That's great.
That is straight.
Grand Trend DLR, fly level 380.
Can't just jump in, we gotta wait.
United 2856, runway 10, clear the line.
Jackson Center, Pleasant, good evening, Delta 1736 with you, passing 2904300.
Delta 1736, Jack Center, welcome.
Roger. Yeah, so the second school of thought is, so first is people sitting down, they're not gonna move. So they don't wanna wait to bother them. So they're sitting at the window. Nobody's interfering with them. So the second school of thought is, if you're sitting at the window, you can lean your head and go to sleep. So they will close that window shade down. But if you're anything like me and you want to see outside the window, or you just want to, have something to look at, especially if you're flying over land or flying over islands or something like that, you want to see outside the window. If it's not pretty bright or too bright, where the cabin's going to be ridiculously bright with your window open, then sure, open the window and allow people to see it, But to have the window closed, yeah, I'm going to be bothered by it. I'm going to be bothered. I've actually never been on the airplane before. Well, you're not going to be the first, you won't be the last, JB. But you should probably take a flight. I guess once you're finished with school, or you could join some sport, become a member of a particular team that travels outside of Antigua, and you'll be on a plane. Hey.
Jack, looking at this, good evening, Delta 2396, flight level 294 from 350. Delta 2396, Jacksonville Center.
Flying is something that it's exciting. I know for those persons who are probably looking at the news right now with the Air India crash, you want to know how a 787 crashes just like that, an aircraft that has an otherwise spotless.
And then taxi to the terminal via Echo Alpha from.
Okay. I just had one of my systems. Oh, okay, interesting. Something disconnected a while ago and caused my gears to go down. Cool.
Frontier Flight 1554, Jackson Center, just make sure you're squawking the right code, runway 18 left, taxi via Juliet 1, Juliet Charlie. The 1 Juliet Charlie, yes, we're going to go on now.
I forgot what I was just saying a while ago. Oh yeah, the Air India crash. So
Southwest 783, exit right when able.
Flying is something that it's one of the safest things to do, really. People want to know why it is or how it is that an aircraft that has an otherwise spotless, quote unquote, air quotes, spotless crash incident rate, how does that just happen where it just crashes? I mean, things happen. You never know. There's still so many questions that we want answered. I haven't been able to check the latest report from this credible source as to what's going on with the investigation, but flying is still pretty good. One of the major things when you're flying, as an airline, you're supposed to ensure you deal with maintenance to make sure that your aircraft are up to code. Just like with your car, if you're not going to maintain your car, eventually it's going to break down, right? So same thing with airplanes. But there's something that would have gone wrong with the 787 that would have departed out of India that caused it to, have struggles on departure. So we'll see more of that coming shortly, I'm sure. Adam says, I wonder if there are
JetBlue
other flight simulators that
2626, if you'd
are
like
never going to again. That is a good question. That is a very good question. I want to believe that somebody who is on flight sim is because they have an interest, that's one. Two, should have flown so they know what to do. But hey, you have the anomalies. There are persons that may or may not have flown before but are flight simmers. Yeah, it's possible. It could be that they started out liking it and then took a flight, you know, later on, but never know. That is a good question.
You can proceed direct press them. Proceed direct press them. That works.
Okay, so what I did a while ago is that I did a little speed up, so let's go 0.79. That will add some extra oomph to the engines and we should get there a little bit faster. So currently we are 330 miles from our destination. At 5 minutes past the hour, 8 o'clock, we should be at our top of descent where we start descending to our destination. And that is in about 30 minutes. So we should be good to go. We currently have a tailwind in the rear quadrant on the left side, so that's pushing us along a little bit with a ground speed of 482 knots. Our true airspeed is 470, so we're trotting along. Not a very long flight. I would not want to do this flight coming back because it's going to be a little bit longer. Probably be about 2 hours gate to gate where that is concerned because we have the headwind. But we have some tailwinds right now, so we are good to go. We're probably going west side. It should, if we're going probably like to, let's see, to Louisiana.
Yeah, it's 16.
If we're going to
Washington Center's offline.
ECP or to somewhere over here, we would have probably gotten there faster too because of the direction of the wind. But we're getting there, we're getting there. So it's going to be somewhere down here, almost to the end of Florida. So we're good to go. I heard on the air the flight person said that there was not enough power in April because the screens were not working too good. And the AC was really...
Oh, American 843 Jackson, hello.
Really strong. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, there's some... what they're thinking right now. So initially, and again guys, whatever I'm gonna say here is not set in stone. I am not an air crash investigator. So let me preface that right here. So anybody's watching this YouTube stream right now, I am not an air crash investigator. I am not a real world pilot. I have been flying for over 20 years virtually. I've been on airplanes most of my life. So I have an idea of some things, and even when the experts do speak, there are things that I would be able to understand because I do this virtual thing. So just a disclaimer, I am not saying that this is what it is, but there are possibilities and there are theories, right? So initially the first thought was that the aircraft was flying in a clean state right after takeoff. And even the experts were saying that's something that they saw. The aircraft did not look like it was in a departure state. It was in a clean state. The wings were in a clean state. But given what they would have recently gotten, so right after that was discussed as a theory, the next thing was that the flaps, so it was the flaps that were taken up versus the gear, because the gears were pretty much also, as you would have seen after departure, as soon as we get positive rain, you heard me say gear up. So that's something that happens at 50 feet, 70 feet after takeoff, and right after you leave the ground. That didn't happen in the Air India situation. The gears were still out, but as they were listening and they were getting more information, then you heard that the pilot would have said that he wasn't getting any power on the engine, so he couldn't climb. So that quickly would have put out the theory of the flaps being an issue. I mean, it's possible. The guy could have gone, the first officer could have gone for, or the pilot not flying, let me put it out. Pilot not flying could have gone for the flap versus the gear, even though they're far apart. But again, that was one theory. The next theory is that they have dual engine failure. Now on the 777, on the 787, on all jet airplanes, there are certain conditions that will cause certain things to happen. So they heard that the rat was also deployed. Again, there are certain reasons why the rat would deploy, and the parameters have to align in sync for that to happen, especially so close to the ground. So there's still so many questions that we want answered as to why it is that we would have a dual engine failure. Again, I didn't get a chance to listen to the updated information. So once the black boxes are recovered, I think they are, the last thing I heard, and they go through all of those different, they check the black boxes and they listen to what the crew would have said. All these different things will come together and piece it together to say exactly what happened. You get a better picture and a more preliminary first report from the investigators, and that will get us closer to what really happened, and then we can put measures in place. It's kind of difficult. Yo, what's going on, George? Good to see you. What's really troubling for most persons is that if it's a situation where it is a mechanical failure, persons who are flying the 787, airlines who are flying the 787 would want to know that quick, fast, and in a hurry so that they could fix whatever issue that it is. Because if it's a mechanical issue, for example, like the MAX, the MAX was the MCAS system, which literally took over from the pilot, you know, so it really warranted it to ground the airplane, because it's something that could, one, it happened twice in very short order, so it's something that had to be addressed very urgently. But with an aircraft that has been flying for so many years without incident such as a crash because of, you know, whatever failure, then it's something that they really want to look at, yes, but it's not something that's probably warranted for a grounding of aircraft. Yo, what's up, Shaib? Spencer, welcome to the stream, man. Good to see you. So we're still waiting to hear what's going on, and it will definitely be something to listen for. And I do hope that they get through that quick fast. I've never been on the 787 myself. It would be nice to get on one, but I know for some persons it would be troubling to get on a 787, given that you would have had a fatal crash. So we're hoping that those guys will get through that quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right, so we're cruising at flight number 330. I can turn off the SIBA sign and let the passengers know, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard on Delta 1736. We are approximately 278 miles from our destination. SIBA sign is now off, and you are free to move out of the cabin. However, once you're seated, that you keep your seatbelts on. If we should encounter rough air, that you are safe and secure. Flying time today is 1 hour and 18 minutes, and we've just added a little bit more speed to our flight, so hopefully we can get there a little bit early. We'll talk to you a little bit more of the flight once we get closer to our descent time. Let you know the weather looks like as we get closer to Southwest region. Once again, enjoy the flight. And thanks for flying Delta. Yeah, so we're just waiting to see what's going on. We're hopeful that those guys will get it quick, fast, and in a hurry, so that we can find out what would have happened with those. And it's weird, and it's unfortunate, because when you're so low to the ground at 650 feet, which is the max that they would have attained on departure, you really don't have. If it was over water, it probably may not have been so catastrophic, but being that it was over a residential area, and in those areas where you have so many people in such a small space, it's really sad. It's really sad. An engine, an aircraft with almost a full load of fuel as well for your flight, it would have exploded hitting all of that. So it's just really unfortunate.
American 76, contact Houston now 132.77.
8277, American 767, 888.
I will be right back, guys. I'm gonna get me a drink of water.
8 cleared for takeoff to Jacksonville wind 08089.
Clear for takeoff by runway heading 1
to Manchester, just a call sign. Now the 698 cleared to the Manchester airport. Is a phase 4 departure via then as filed. Climb via TID, squawk 7737.
And we're back. Okay, so our top of the descent is at 5 minutes past 8, 129 miles to go. So let's review our approach. So we're going to be using the tiny for arrival via flyer or player.
410, and let me off at 3,000 miles. Thank you. Proceed direct Sirius, climb maintain 410.
Jacksonville, sir, good evening. Just do 2618, sorry, my stars of Orlando, flight level 312.
JetBlue 2618, Jacksonville Center, well. I will have a
Okay, so we're going to have ATC tell us how to proceed because there isn't a altitude that we're supposed to use, but we're using runway 06, I believe. Let's check the weather. Current weather is 140 at 8, so that's runway 06 is more likely. There's lightning in the distance on the south and southwest.
Yeah, let's make it a 300.
Okay, very good.
Eight Charlie Delta Jackson, hello. Our 88 Charlie Delta, radar contact over post 511 office. I'm sorry, over Statesville. Jacksonville Center, American 1176, ready for takeoff. Hold on short of Delta. American 1176, roger, runway 16, taxi via Delta. Runway 16 via Delta, American 1176.
Runway 06, and look, be that Fox 7 or Fox 8. It's actually the Fox truck at the terminal. And we're parking at Charlie 8, which is number in here. Cool. The Foxtrot, take Foxtrot, take Golf, and then Golf to Charlie 8.
Definitely 2016 Cross Cody at 1-3000, Jacksonville altimeter 3008.
Apparently Miami Center went offline.
Crossing Pony
So-
at 13,000.
I think we may have to cross
Jacksonville 3008,
Miami
double
at
2680.
about 7 or 8,000.
2618, no rush on this, but the wind is at 9. Do you want the ILS visual runway 8 or 1-4?
Visual runway 8 at 2680.
I just expect that.
Thanks.
Piaggio 851, no traffic observed between you and the Tango Victor India Airport.
So the wind is now a direct crosswind.
Alright,
So that slowed us down just a little bit.
90851, thanks.
But on top of the settings in a few minutes. So we're gonna be out of the Jacksonville airspace because there isn't Miami Center is not online. But he might give us descent though.
Definitely 2626 across Jersey at flight level 210
He might give us descent instructions. If not, we probably descend across Tiny at let's say 9,000, and then we'll get down to cross
Delta 1736 across Ogre, flight level 270.
Ogre at 270 1736. All right, there we go. So 270 at Ogre, perfect. So our top of descent is now in 56 miles versus 96 miles. The super sign coming on. And we're gonna do our performance tool, landing en route, landing runway 06. We have 12,000 feet of runway. And currently we have 151,000 pounds, all operational, auto brake level 2. Set the wind and calculate. So we have a 12,000 foot runway, and we land distance required is 7,607, which gives us 7,000 is just about here. So Foxtrot 7 or Foxtrot 8 will be our exit point. And our final approach speed is going to be 151. So we can add that. So flaps 30, 151. Let's set up our ILS 111.5.
Yeah, could you repeat the information?
So 111.50.
152 is cleared to Boston. Space for departure.
And it is 058.
Climb via the SID, block 1533. Mission uniform turn.
Departure passport runway 18 left, X1 1522.
JetBlue 2052, read back correct. Advisory to taxi, runway 18.
All right, let's brief the ILS now. So we're going to use the ILS runway 06 for arrival. And the MSA is 2600, and our decision height is 227. So let's set 227 here. 227 is set. And we are to, our heading is 058, and that's also set in the course. IRSW, so we can put that fixed, IRSW, and 058. Let's put a 15 radius around that. 058 with a 7 mile radius. let's see, when do we get out? So we will get the glide slope at 6.6. So at 7 nautical miles.
1736, contact Miami Center 132.2.
132.2. Thanks so much for the ATC to Miami Center. Bye bye.
The 2487 Jacksonville Center, hello, Ryzen.
All right, great. 132.2.
Delta 1710 heavy radar contact altitude pass.
1,400 for 4,000 Delta 1710 heavy.
Delta 1710 heavy, thanks. Climb maintain 12,000.
Climb maintain 12,000 Delta 1710 heavy.
Delta 4299, runway 14, clear for takeoff, wind 12018 gust.
One of the things about flying online is that you cannot get in sometimes because the airspace is so busy.
Delta 76, runway 14, line
You
up
just
and
gotta
wait.
wait.
Delta 2092, climb maintain level 370. Delta 2092, climb maintain level 370. Got it, 1455, contact Houston 132.77. Houston.
97 Pleasant Green, Delta 1736, which you 5330.
Delta 1736, Miami Center, roger.
So we'll begin our descent shortly down to flight level
For airborne
270.
2.1 for 4 on runway heading.
Delta 4364, thank you, radar contact, turn left heading.
Then gentlemen, from the flight, this is
Climb
Captain
maintain
speaking. We're about to start our
10,000.
descent. Current weather in
Heading 360, climb maintain 10,000.
Southwest International. Winds coming out of the southeast, light winds,
Delta 4299, radar contact,
visibility is pretty good.
1.7.
Temperature is about 29 degrees. Nice and warm, sunny day in Florida. Some weather around, but we should be fine to get it in. And once again, thank you for choosing Delta. We hope to see you on the next flight. Flight 7 prepared aircraft for arrival.
Climb maintain level 350.
All right.
I gotta send you,
So let's slow down to our beacon speed.
I can give you 400 now if you want, and then you can request 41 from Jacksonville. Delta 2092, climb maintain level 400. Delta 76, runway 14, clear for takeoff, wind 120 at 18, gust 28. Who's next? Delta 7871, runway 14, line up and wait.
14, line up and wait, Delta 7871.
Delta 1710, climb maintain level 340.
Climb maintain 340 Delta 1710 heavy.
And just like that, we begin our descent.
4364, clear direct Camco, climb maintain level 350.
Direct Canto, climb maintain level 360, Southwest 4.
And there is an 80s for Southwest Regional. And
Delta 4299, climb maintain level 350.
360.
altimeter 3006. So we have that set and cross check.
Delta 1736, do you have the restriction from Jacksonville?
Yes, sir. We're about to start descending flight level 270.
Copy, thanks. Delta 76, radar contact, altitude passing.
2600.
Delta 76, thanks, climb maintain 12,000.
Roger. Hey, I don't think I got a start. Can you vector me out of here, please?
Delta 76, you filed the Type 1, you were clear in the Type 1. Do you not have the Type 1 on your system?
I don't think so.
Can you check for me?
Can you check? Sometimes these
No, I
pilots,
don't have the type 1.
when you're flying a line, you get a lot of jokes too. Sometimes
Roger,
they-
flight present heading
pilots be
climbing,
saying
maintain
things,
2000.
hitch controls will be saying things. It'd be funny sometimes.
Present heading 12000, Delta 76.
Delta 76, turn right heading 240.
Hold on. Right heading 240, Delta 76.
Delta 7871, runway flight runway heading runway 14, clear for takeoff.
Fly runway heading, runway 14, clear for takeoff, Delta 7871.
Delta 1711, runway 14, line up and wait.
14, line up and wait, Delta 1711.
Delta 2092, contact Jacksonville Center 135.902. Delta 2092, contact Jacksonville Center 135.902.
So I'm glad that we have the center online, so he would
Delta
definitely
76,
give,
turn right heading 310.
he would definitely give us the speed, the altitudes that we need to get down,
Delta 7871, radar contact, Delta tapping.
and runway 6 is in use.
Delta 7871, climb maintain
Get the ILS runway
12000.
06 for arrival, so we have that set
Fly
up,
maintain 12000, Delta 771.
and the ADIS would have given us that as
Delta 1710, contact Jacksonville Center 135.902.
1,000 to go.
Delta 1710.
Look at all those clouds over there. So that's the weather. I'm wondering why it's not. Oh, there it is. So you have some weather showing up here, and there's some clouds about here. So yeah,
Delta 7871, turn right heading
should be an interesting
240.
flight coming down.
Right turn 240, Delta 7871.
Delta 1711, runway 14, clear for takeoff 1200 at 5.
Copy the wind, service takeoff 14, Delta 1711.
Frontier flight 4685, Miami Center, squawk 2356.
2356, flight 4635.
Delta 1736, turn right heading 240, vector for your descent, descend and maintain 11,000. The Tampa altimeter 3009.
Give us the heading again. That's 270,
24, 240 in the heading.
240, and down to 11,000. Delta 1736.
Delta 4299, contact Jacksonville Center 135.902.
35
So this is into Fort Myers, so we descend
Delta
down to
76, clear direct Camsco, climb maintain level 340.
down to 11,000 feet. So we're now off the star.
340.
So it's based on what the instruction that we're gonna get. So there's vectors versus following the star. So we have the star in the system, which is the Tiny 4. However,
97 Series
with
2008, 12000.
air traffic control now online, he's giving us vectors to fly.
230, 2008.
So we just follow the instructions that he's giving us.
Delta 8226, runway 14, line up and wait.
Runway 14, line up and wait, Delta 8226.
Delta 1711, radar contact, altitude passing.
2,500, passing Delta 711.
Delta 1711, climb maintain 12,000.
12,000, Delta 711.
Delta 7871, turn right heading 310.
Right turn 310, 7871.
Delta 76, radar contact lost. Delta 7871, clear direct Camsco.
Possible that they're couple of, so we're seeing there's
and
some
climb maintain for level 3.
there's some traffic here, so that's probably why he vectored us over the water versus keeping us on the star.
Delta 8226, runway 14, clear for takeoff, wind 2005.
Clear for takeoff, runway 14, up to 226.
Delta 673, runway 14, line up and wait.
Lining up and waiting for Delta 67.
Delta 1736, turn left heading 180.
180 1736. It has to be for that traffic that was there, so we're good.
40 miles northwest to Nassau, VOR. Yeah, I gave you the handoff on voice and text. Jacksonville 135.9.
I believe I know that voice when I
Growing
spoke.
2028 Miami Center, climb maintain level 230. That will be your final.
Miami, hello,
Giant 517 with you, passing 14.4 for 16
wings.
Giant 517 Miami Center, climb maintain level 360.
Up to 360, Giant 517.
Delta 1711, climb maintain level 370.
370, that's 711.
Delta 8226, radar contact, altitude pass.
140 for 040 to the 8226.
8226, that's in Dallas,
Yep.
feet, so
That's
4,000.
definitely him.
Yeah, that was
Spirit
my
Move
bad.
2028.
Okay, so give me the altitude one more time then.
020 for 040.
Okay, do it in Dallas feet next time because it's confusing when you
2000.
say 020, that's the flight level. Delta 8226, fly maintain 12,000.
122,000. Delta 8226.
Delta 1736, turn left heading 160.
160 1736. Descending to 18,000, so we'll set
Delta
standard.
4324, contact
We'll
Jacksonville
set
Center,
altitude
135.9.
3007.
Jackson Center 135.92 Southwest.
Let's get some
report,
lights
thank
in
you for
the flight deck.
796.
Evening. Delta 673, runway 14, clear for takeoff, wind 2005.
Super Delta 67.
Delta 1711, clear direct Canville.
Don't want a dark cockpit when we're coming into land at all.
Delta 1711, clear direct Canville.
Direct Canfield, Delta 711, sorry about that.
Delta 7871, contact Jacksonville Center, 135.902. 135, that's for 902, go over. Yep. Delta 8226, climb and maintain for level 340.
Climb and camp 340, Delta 8226.
Delta 673, radar contact, altitude pass.
2000. Delta
Delta.
670.
So
Delta 673, climb maintain 12,000.
we are still about, let's
Well,
see, 100 miles out. And we're descending to 11,000
Delta
feet.
1711, come in your altitude, maintain for level 360.
He might give us direct to Farron. What's that wait? Yeah, you might get direct to either Tiny or San.
Delta 8226, right turn direct Canfield.
Right turn direct Canfield, Delta 8226.
Delta 1736, clear direct Pine. Tango Yankee, November, Echo Echo.
Direct Tiny 1736. Yep. Either that or sign. Oop. 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 Oop.
Delta 573, climb maintain level 340.
So I want to keep my speed up because being 40 miles away from Tiny at 11,000 feet, keeping that speed up so that we get there quicker versus slowing all the way down to 250.
Bearing 2008, descend via the right to arrival, landing south, the Orlando altimeter 3010.
3010, right to south, bearing 2008.
So ILS 06 is our arrival, so we're going direct to Tiny now. See our little plane here, so we're going direct to Tiny, and then we'll rejoin the star.
Delta 1711, contact
And then from Obel, we join the localizer at Obel.
Delta 8226, contact Jackson.
So there are people who probably wondering why I put these little green rings there. So these are radius rings, and this is from the Airbus.
Delta 1736, expect the visual approach runway 6, Fort Myers altimeter 300.
3008, expect the visual runway 06 Delta 1736. So the Airbus guys will put a ring around the airport, 50 miles, it gets you to 180 as your speed. And then as I check the arrival, for the airport, we get the glide slope at 6.6 from the runway. So by 7 miles from the runway, we should be fully configured. So that is the second green band that's around there. So by that, we should be fully configured for landing and ready for the glide slope. Outside view of the aircraft.
Delta 673, contact Jacksonville Center 13519. Delta 673, contact Jacksonville Center 135.902.
Jacksonville Center 1, say again please.
Delta 673, contact Jacksonville Center 135.902.
135.902. Delta 673.
Bearing 2028, descend via the right to arrival, Orlando landing south, the altimeter 3010.
18 inbound from Tiny. We'll start to slow so that we can prepare for it, because we're at 11,000. The rule is we can't blow through 250 knots unless we get that approval from
before you go, clear
ATC.
Clear direct horn, and then call me back.
So once we get the instruction from the controller,
Charlie,
he could probably tell us
Romeo, November,
slow to whatever, then descend, or just descend through whatever the altitude is. But he then expect us to ensure that we descend to, or we slow before 250, because we can't blow through 250 with the rule is below 250, below 10,000 feet, 250 knots. So that is expected from us as pilots unless otherwise cleared by air traffic control. There are times when you're allowed to go faster than that, but general rule of thumb is below 10,000 feet, maintain no more than 250 knots. And these airplanes are very slippery. They tend to don't like to slow down. So we want to slow down and be ahead of the aircraft so that we don't have an issue slowing down for final approach.
2028, you have information picture now. Going to be somebody right for how long will it be so?
Delta 1736 is going to maintain 8,000.
It's going to maintain 8,000, 1736. Alright, so we're going to slow down now to 40 and descend to 8. And we'll extend some spoilers, speed brakes. The speed brakes are right out here.
Thanks.
Those speed brakes are out and the aircraft is taking its sweet time to slow down. So that's what I mean by the aircraft, being ahead of the aircraft. So I should have slowed down a little bit earlier, just before we got that. But our rate of descent is going to increase just now once we hit 240 because it's in level change. So it will get down there faster and we'll keep the speed brake out. So you see, rate of descent is now 1100 and climbing there, or descending rather. And let's run the approach checklist. Now the descent checklist is altimeter is 3008 cross check. Radio and barrel altitude bugs are cross check 227. Airspeed bugs are checked 151 for our approach speed. Approach briefing is completed. Auto brakes is level 2 is set. Passenger signs are on, pressurization panel is set, exterior lights are now coming on.
Bearing 2008, contact Jacksonville Center 127.87.
And the recall is checked.
2008, thanks, yeah.
Descent checklist is complete.
Bearing 2028, contact Jacksonville Center 127.87.
127.87.
Delta 1736 is going to maintain 4,000.
4,1736.
Frontier Flight 4635, descend via the right to arrival. Orlando land south, the Orlando altimeter 3010. Orlando altimeter 3010.
safety brakes coming in. We continue to descend. Go to 230. I just love the colors in the sim with the sunset. It looks really, really nice.
Number 16, 48 kilo, turn right heading 190. Giant 517, contact Jacksonville Center 135.92.
135.902, take care, Giant 517.
So he's given us the visual. We are currently 20 miles out. We have it backed up for the ILS, so we will just be fine. And we have to be mindful, according to the chart, that the Page Airport is listed with the Southwest Florida International. So we'll use the ILS backup so we can maintain, so we don't have any problems at all. We don't want to be landing at the wrong airport. 1,000 to go.
Heartland 4534, RNAV, Baller, runway 8 right, clear for takeoff, wind 100 at 11.
Going to 210. $17 miles out. Alright, stay in the cabin. And our approach checks is flight and navigation check is a check. Time switch is cycle. Altimeter is 3008. Our approach checklist is complete. We have localizer and we have blaster.
Are you going BFR or IFR? Then I can do 8,500. Number 1 says 40 kilo, climb, maintain 8,000.
You check fast. That's 2.
Delta 1736, descend and maintain 3,000, turn left heading 090, and Fort Myers will be off your 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock and 15 miles.
3,090, we'll call the field Delta 736.
Allegiant 2487, cross Picker at and maintain 7,000. The Fort Myers altimeter 3008.
That's the airfield right over here.
Cross Picker at and maintain 7,000. You're not direct to Picker, you're going to follow the same route you have. You're going to cross Picker at 7.
And 736 has the field.
Level 1736, clear visual approach runway 6.
Yeah, visual number 6, 1736. Alright, cool, gear down. So we can get on a little bit
Heartland 45,
faster.
34 with a contact, altitude pass.
10.
Heartland 4534, climb maintain 7,000, traffic off your 12 o'clock,
I'm going
4,000
to
southbound,
turn right
that's it, now 178.
and visit the localizer. Localizer
Heartland
captured.
4534, climb maintain 10,000.
Final approach speed. Flat.
2,500.
Okay. And the checklist. Landing gear down, free green.
Runway 6, clear to land, wind 110 at 4.
Copy, clear land 1736. Landing gear down, 3 green, flaps 30, 30 green light. Speed brake is on, green light. Engine stations are completeness. Landing checklist is complete. Alright guys, here we go.
Number 1648 kilo, turn right heading 210. November 1951 Sierra, clear direct Ocean Reef. Direct to the airport, direct to your destination. Number 1951 Sierra, IFR cancellation is received. Walk and maintain VFR for communication group. Good. November 1648 kilo, clear direct Ocean Reef, direct destination. You're clear direct to Ocean Reef, direct to your destination. Number 1648 kilo, IFR cancellation is received. Walk and maintain VFR for communication group. Remain clear of the mining cloud, Bravo airspace.
Alright, copy the feed my airplane and we'll land this baby.
Heartland 4534, change to my frequency 132.2. Heartland 4534, Miami Center, Roger. The Miami altimeter 3008.
Check my airplane.
400. 300. Approaching minimums. 200. Minimums.
Continue.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Keep myself. Reversing screen. Peace. We will exit at Foxtrot 8. Timer, manual braking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to
Bring 131, clearance Northwest 10. Double
Southwest Florida
1736,
Regional.
welcome to Fort Myers, ramp via Foxtrot.
Ramp via Foxtrot 1736. So the speed brakes. And we'll stop the and we have made it to Fort Myers. We are going to gate Charlie 8. So we taxi via Foxtrot and we take Foxtrot all the way down to Gulf 2, then Gulf 2 all the way over to Japan. And that will be the end of this flight. Yeah, man. Butter minus 2 plus 240 was the landing. Yeah. Pretty firm. Make sure we put the aircraft on the ground. Yeah, it was bouncing around a little bit when we were coming in. So the wind was a little bit. So that's why we were kind of off the runway center line. But that happens even in the real world. So we're not too badly off with that. All right, so make a left here on Gulf 2. And then we will continue on Gulf by hanging another left. And then our air gate will be right at the top. Just around here. I wish GSX will have the marshallers outside so that we could see the gate versus having to
Allegiant
show it up.
2487, there's some light to moderate precipitation after 12 o'clock, extending to about 20 miles. Additional weather once you're approaching the Punta Gorda area. Advise if you need any weather deviation.
Where is the gate? Is just here. Over this. Yep, there it is. Hopefully we can get a little dance tonight. Let's see. Parking brake is on. APU is running.
Good evening, Miami Center, November 176 Hotel Sierra, descending to flight level
We have
310.
APU running, and we also have the beat
176 Hotel Sierra, Miami Center, Roger.
That stop timer and release the passenger. We'll do our after landing flow.
Further flight 3054 Miami Center, the temp altimeter 3010, information spot thrust current. Expect the ILS searching.
We'll turn him off for a second. Turn off that and set the shocks. We'll call for deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
Dude said that wasn't a very good time. That's coming off. Let's go. That's okay. We're up again. Guys, it was such a great honor for me to fly with you guys today. And it's such an honor for you guys to come to Fort Myers with me this evening. I am hoping that you would have enjoyed the flight today as we came down here. Flying on the 737 from Pmdg, and it was a pretty nice flight. Air traffic control, the vectors off course. I believe that was for some traffic, and so we had to get some vectoring done. Then we rejoined the star to come in to Fort Myers. As always, I appreciate you guys coming and viewing. It was great having you with us today. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. It will really help us a long way. Also, if you like the content, give a like and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next time that we go live. There's also a Discord channel available that you feel free to join as well. You can always talk with me in the Discord. Send a message, feel free to talk to me, and we'll learn a little bit more about why. Until the very next time, guys, please make sure you take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.